Yo, 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 welcome back to another midweek episode. We got another Women's Wednesday. Y'all seen last video. Today just posted, I just posted it. So make sure y'all go check that out. But today we got a whole new set of group, whole new people, whole new faces. So first thing I want y'all to do, I just want y'all to introduce yourselves. Tell them who y'all are, where y'all from, and what you do.
Anybody can
Okay,
start.
I'll go first. My name is Nadia. I am from Jacksonville, Florida. I currently live in Baltimore, Maryland, and I work for the city helping people 14 to 21 get jobs.
Smooth.
Hi, my name is Monique. I'm from Bowling Green, Kentucky, and I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and I am a teacher.
Okay.
My name's Jatavia. I'm from Montgomery, Alabama. And what does she want to know?
What do you do, like for work or anything? Just anything.
I don't work right now, but I like to paint.
That's real. That's real.
Life. Brad's life. I'm about to say, y'all don't know me. The people on the podcast know me, but I'm Justin. Currently, right now, I'm in the works of getting my CDL. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, but I stay in Nashville, Tennessee.
Man, y'all already know who I am, so you ain't got to do all that. So
Yeah, you good, bro.
all right, so today we getting, like I said, we talking about marriage and family. So first point is, what makes a marriage last? Who wants to go first? Now, matter of fact, we're gonna start with Nadia. Since you the oldest, I'm gonna start with you.
Whoa. Whoa. Since I'm the oldest. What makes a marriage last? I would say what makes any relationship last is communication. You got to be able to like talk to each other and talk things out. If you can't communicate effectively, then you're not gonna really get anywhere in a marriage or a relationship in any type of way.
Okay,
Understood.
On my take on it, what makes a marriage last, like you said, communication, trust, loyalty, and just honestly love. You feel me? You gotta just have real, genuine love for the person. What makes a marriage last? Because that's what I see from people who've been in marriages for like 30 years, 30 plus years, all that good stuff. So
That's real. I'll say, like, when it comes to marriage, I don't know nothing about it. We all young or whatever, but I'll say probably like how she was saying, like the relationship, anything that makes the relationship work is communication. But I also think it's the want to better yourself with your partner. You know what I'm saying? Like every day of a marriage, you got to look to learn something about somebody, or just figure out. You got to figure out a lot, and that takes a lot of like actual wanting to do it. So most of a marriage is wanting to be in that marriage. You know what I'm saying? But that's probably all I can really say about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm young. Shit.
right.
I agree with everything y'all said, along with consistency. I feel like you got to be consistent with showing up and all of those things that y'all said. That's all I wanted to add.
No, that's real. That's definitely real.
I feel like everything big on communication, but I think effort, like that's the key to having longevity. Like putting in that effort, like making sure you're planning dates for each other, making sure you don't lose that spark and that love. I think that's very important. But also, like marriage is a big partnership. Like especially if you want kids down the line, you have to make sure that you're on the same page. You have to make sure that you have that consistency to keep growing.
Right.
No, that's most definitely. Well, then we gonna sticking on that specific question. Do y'all plan on getting married
Yes, I'm getting married next year.
Yes.
next
I
year?
want
All
to
right.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I'm like,
I was gonna say,
I'm
fool.
saying,
Oh,
it's-
Damn.
okay, one person
It's
a
a-
okay,
year,
we got
then-
manifest the marriage.
I'm
Okay,
just playing,
you know
y'all.
what? It's on the way.
It's a running joke.
It's on the way. We got
a running
we
delusion.
can manifest the
So,
marriage. I
okay.
just want to get married one day.
one day, okay, yeah, I want to get married too. But like I said, it just got to happen at the right time. You ain't gonna just be out there and go do it, you know.
Shit.
I ain't the type of stick
Wait,
to
but can
the.
I ask? You said I'm the oldest. How old is everyone?
You know,
I
me,
just turned 21.
21.
I'm 21. How old are you? You the oldest, you said.
Yeah, I'm 33. That feels crazy saying that in a room full of 21-year-olds. But yeah, I'm 33.
It's
I'm
like
24.
24 like Kobe. Yeah.
oh,
What do y'all think is did y'all have like an ideal age in mind that you want to get married? At one point in time when I was a child, I thought that 25 was like, oh, that's a good age to get married. And then 25 came and I was like, oh, no, it's not. Do y'all have like an ideal age in mind?
I ain't gonna lie, for me, no. If it comes, you just got to be the right time, like right time, right person. I mean, I can't really put. I never try to put a age on something. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't tell the future. Like I don't know what's gonna be planned, but I like to go with the flow. So if I feel like the person I'm talking to at the time, we get into a relationship and things go in the right direction, and you know we link like that real good, then maybe one day I want to get married, but shit, I ain't forcing it. I ain't never gonna force it.
Yeah, I say at least before 30. I ain't gonna lie. Just you feel me? Because knowing the type of person I am, I won't do all that extra stuff. So I ain't finna be doing all that for just on and on and on and on. You feel me? So yeah, it got to stop at something before 30.
I respect that.
For me, I feel like I don't have a specific age, just a time frame for myself. Like I definitely want to, because I'm finishing grad school now, I definitely want to be like established and have my own stuff going on before someone else can add to it. Definitely want to be like established where I am. Because like my dad was big on that. It's like make sure you're secure in who you are. So you're not relying on anybody for money, not relying on anybody to have things for you. You gotta have it for yourself. So I'm waiting to finish that up.
That's real.
I'm fuck with that.
This just is your turn.
Okay. I want to be married before 25. Do I have this mic? I'm sorry. It's so much going on around me.
Now you
25 because I want to have. Why you say that? I want to have a family. Never mind. I'm distracted.
Hey, she said before 25, so you heard it. Like, but yeah, that was a good point right there. That's yeah, because you know people just getting married. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't really seen people get married for real until they like late 30s for real. Not gonna hold you. And even just people in our families aren't getting married until later in life. So it's just different.
I've seen a lot of friends like my age that I went to college with, they got married very early. Like I just went to my friend's wedding not too long ago, and she's the same age as me. She got married when she was 22. She said she felt like she found the right person and she got married. But I've had like a few friends get married the past like few years. They said that they found the one and they were ready to settle down. And that's the life they wanted. They was ready to start having kids early. But it just depends on where you're at in your life. If you want to keep traveling, continue to do what you want to do, but some people are just ready to settle down very early now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was going to say. I've had friends get married. Basically, I mean, I had friends that had babies in high school, got married right out of high school. I have friends that are getting married now. So you know, it just depends on what you want in your life.
Facts.
Yeah. That's a big commitment.
Honestly. Don't do it. If you ain't gonna do it right, don't do it at all. Please. Stop wasting people's time.
Yeah, and I think the point that y'all made earlier about like you have to like choose this every day is a big thing. Like, are you ready to like really choose this every day? Are you ready to deal with this person exactly how they are every single day? It's a huge commitment. I don't like nobody every day.
No, facts. Because dealing with one person every day, you gotta think. You gotta deal with that attitude, gotta deal with just anything, bickering, whatever, just little small stuff that you know you don't like. You gotta deal with that for the rest of your life if you want to. Let's keep that right there. If you want to, you ain't get forced to do nothing, but just know what comes with it at the end of the day.
Man, the little mood swings and shit.
Man.
Man, but it's just what comes with it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, like, yeah, that's just what comes with it.
I mean, but it's just about I think Monique's point about like knowing yourself, because you need to like kind of know yourself, because before you can really like be there for anyone else, because it's really about a partnership. So before you can be there for anyone else, you got to know who you are and what you need, so that you pick someone that is like fulfilling what you need, and you're just not like depleting yourself. So I mean, but there are also like really great parts about getting married if you choose to marry the right person. Then you have a true partner, someone that you can do life with, and that is not like a burden. You don't feel held down by them.
Right.
Let's do it. Some good parts too.
But so you gotta find somebody for you. That's how. I mean, that's the whole big thing about marriage. I mean, if you gonna marry somebody, first off, it ain't cheap. Second off, you know what I'm saying, it's a long time thing. So I mean, if you gotta find somebody that fits to your puzzle, like in everything you doing. Because when it comes to marriage, now it becomes what career you in, do that work with them. Like it's so much like variables that go into being in a marriage that it's like you genuinely gotta like that person, like to a whole nother scale. Because in a lot of marriages, things change, stuff happens throughout the marriage, and feelings do kind of change. But you got to be able to put up with that and fight over that hump. But you got to just find that person for you.
But you think at the same aspect, some people stay in marriages because of the kids and all the stuff they already built around it. So, but they just keep it where they hide their feelings to the point, right? When they around their kids, they all lovey-dovey, They look like they in a happy marriage. Around people, they look like in a happy marriage, but deep down, they real life hate each other.
Yeah.
That's why you have to be like very careful who you commit to at the end of the day. Like I feel like some people like get married based on like superficial ideas, based on like looks and things like that. But you gotta like really think about, can I see every single day, every step with this person? Some people just settle. But I feel like the best way is just to really sit there and think. But I don't know. I feel like people say marriage is just like you said, Nick, just because of family situations and just how things look and how things are perceived. Like in some religions, like it's against their religion to get a divorce. So some people get like stuck their like whole entire lives in the situation that they know they shouldn't be in. So I definitely think sometimes it's okay in a marriage to step back and realize like this isn't for you at all, and like that's okay too, because like you said, feelings do change, and sometimes it's okay to let things go.
That's true. It is true.
Anybody want to add on that before we move on to the next points?
I was gonna say something about the whole comment about how they hide it in front of the kids, and some people settle and stick in it because of their kids or because of how it look. And I feel like it's very toxic and not healthy for the kids in the long run. Because 9 times out of 10, when the kids are maybe teenagers, they break up anyways, and that's still harmful. And I think it just shows a bad example of what love's supposed to look like in a household. That's all I say.
That's facts. That's real. That's real.
Well, I definitely agree with that. And honestly, sometimes people think that they're hiding it, but they're actually not. Like you can tell they don't like each other in the way that they deal with each other and act with each other. And to them, it's probably normal, but like others see it and they're like, like, do y'all like each other? No. And like you said, the kids see that and then they think that is what love is. It definitely, people stay together for all different reasons. Sometimes it works, but a lot of times it's like y'all should probably part ways because it's just not working, and it's okay. But that was they don't be hiding it like they think they do.
And I would like to add on to that, being a teacher, I've had a few times where kids have come up and told me like that their mom and dad was arguing at home and how hard that was for them. And even though like at that time that was a preschooler coming up to me, they're like, mom and dad fight at home, and they didn't understand why, but they knew it, even though their parents were trying to hide it. They could see mom was upset, they could see dad was upset. And it's like, you think these kids can't see what's going on? They might not fully understand, but they notice and they feel energy and they feel everything. And I guess the mom decided to leave the dad, but it was definitely a hard thing that the kid had to deal with. But at the end of the day, they have time to heal and grow. And it was best for the kid, even though they don't understand why mom and dad got separated. It's best to not have that arguing and that upsetness in the house. Sometimes it's just best to separate and let time heal.
Right. Most definitely. So we're gonna go as far as the kid aspect. Do you think kids need to see their parents go through those type of conflicts for them to learn or not? Because I see some
absolutely no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because the kid internalizes that. And so like, okay, let's say we've seen like with abusive situations, I feel like kids start to lean into that. Especially let's say a kid, I can speak from experience because I have seen this in real life. The dad had anger issues. So this kid whole attitude changed, started getting more mad, started getting more mean. Like he would get upset and just stomp off and like make the meanest face in the world. And it's like something you've never seen him act like before because he was mimicking how the dad was acting. Because dad acts like that. Dad acts all mean and all tough. That's how I'm supposed to be. And so they see that and they witness that and they start adding that into their everyday lives because kids mimic what they see, good or not. They don't know good from bad yet. And so they definitely add those characteristics onto themselves, and that in turn changes their outlook on how things are supposed to be, just because their parents aren't making the best decisions when it comes to what their kids are seeing or not seeing.
Yeah.
Because I had a talk
See,
with
I was
somebody.
going to say, I agree with you, Monique. I definitely think that, like, actually, I want to say kids should see it, but they should see it in a healthy way. Unfortunately, a lot of people are not able to deal with conflict in a healthy way, but that is how they learn. So like if the parents were able to resolve conflict in a healthy way and like talk it out, or maybe they need to take a break and then come back to it later, but just showing them a healthy way to handle disagreements and conflict within a relationship is super important. And it's something you can like try to teach them, but like them actually like seeing you do it is the best way to do it. But only if you're doing it in a healthy way. So like if like to like the example that you gave is like, unfortunately he not seeing his parents handle conflict in a healthy way, but in a good household with healthy parents, they will be able to like talk. They'll know which conversations shouldn't be had around the kids, but which ones they can have around the kids to kind of like just show how we handle conflict, because there's gonna be conflict in every type of relationship that you have. So it's great for them to see how mommy treats daddy when she's mad and how daddy talks to mommy when she's mad. Because then they know like, okay, well, that's how I should be talking to people if I'm upset too. So if it's healthy, yes, but unfortunately, most of the households in the country are not quite as healthy.
And then you can't be mad at the kid because I mean that's the cards that they dealt with. So
Nah. I mean, the kid don't know no, like I said, kid don't know no better, bro. It's all about your parents. Your parents is the ones that's supposed to guide you through life. So, I mean, if they going at each other, what do you think they're going to do whenever they face any adversity or anything like that? It's always been, I mean, fathers and sons are always alike. Mothers and daughters are always alike. You're going to take the makeup from what you see from them and apply it to yourself. And they don't even realize it because they so young. And Monique, I wanted to ask, what age group of kids do you teach?
Right now it's early childhood, so very formative years. So like preschool, kindergarten, so that's 3, 4, 5 to 6 or 7.
So yeah, so like it'd be stuff like that. Now that's going on, these 3, 4, 5-year-old kids, that's all they know. Like now that's all they know. So it's like being that's always been how families work, you know what I'm saying? Like the daughter is the mother and the son is the father at the end of the day. But it's all some stuff that the parents got to figure out. And I think our generation got to be like, we got to figure it out like now, because what it's going to become is such just a bad thing with how the world it's already enough stuff in the world. So bringing all that into one household and having it just all boil up in one household is terrible in general for the future of anything.
I feel like this generation of parents they are on the road to like providing healthier, well, at least the ones that I've come in contact with. I've definitely come in contact with both, but I feel like in a general sense, I see more parents trying to like understand how to better teach their children and how to better show their children adversity in just the general sense, and just being more cognitive of how things affect their children. A lot of times, I feel like kids are kind of, it's like that you should be seen, not heard. So like no matter what happens, you should be over there in the corner, quiet. But now parents are starting to see like, oh, even just you seeing is like affecting how you live life and grow up and things. So I mean, I feel like it's definitely two sides of the spectrum, but I've definitely seen a wave of people being more cognitive of how they interact with their children and around their children as a family and community.
I agree. I will say I've seen like not a lot, but like so far from a few kids I've seen like an influx of kids who are going to therapy and they're starting them young so they can make sure that they like I've seen a few kids like in behavioral therapy to make sure that they're getting like the proper care that they need early on. So like when they get older, they know how to regulate more and things like that. So it's been great to see so far.
I can see it. I've seen examples though for sure of great people, just like families doing what they're supposed to do and with their kids, man. I love to see it because regardless of how they feel each other, they gonna always respect each other when it's time to be, regardless of how they feel. Shout out to them though. But go ahead, Nadia, go through what you were saying.
Oh, nothing. I was gonna give a funny example of kids doing what they see. I have a 6-year-old, and I didn't realize how like bad my road rage was until we were in a car one day and the light turned green and a car didn't go, I guess, what he perceived as fast enough, and he just started go, and I'm like, oh dang, is that how I sound when I'm cussing people out? Okay, let me chill, because clearly I'm doing too much. Yeah, kids do what they see.
Yes, they make you realize like your behavior. Because I know I was telling one kid, I forgot like what it was, but I was like, that's not what we're supposed to do. But it's like, oh dang, I kind of did that earlier today. Like you really got to watch what you say, or you really have to like. They really make you realize like what you do, even if it's like the little like small things. Because like I left something out on the table. I was like, dang, I would have told my kids to pick that up. They need to start cleaning up after themselves. It's just like little things you tell them and you teach them that you realize like, I need to actually be doing this. I need to practice what I preach as well. Because they watch, they notice everything, they copy you. I remember we have a rule, you can't sit on the table. I sat on the table to help a kid do something. 2 of them started sitting up on the table with me. I said, oh, I can't keep doing this. Like, it's like even like little tiny rules like that. They pick up, they see immediately. So it's like you really gotta watch what you do around them. They're very impressionable.
Right.
It's always hilarious. I'm sure if it hasn't happened yet, Monique, I'm sure it will, where they start like reminding you of the rules and like, excuse me, I thought we weren't supposed to sit on the table. The funniest thing, I used to work with, I work with kids of all ages, 6 weeks, well, newborns to 20-something-year-olds now. And when I was in the classroom, I didn't realize I had a catchphrase until like they were like, until they just started like using them against me. And I was like, wait, do I really say that? But sure enough, I was like, actually, I do. And I'm gonna keep on saying it. They pick it up and they're gonna give it right back to you once they get the hang of it.
Yeah, sometimes it's embarrassing. I just gotta be like, okay, I'm sorry, and like move on. Like, I think I was playing with a ball. I was just bouncing it up and down, and one of them was like, "We're not supposed to be playing with toys." I said, "Oh, okay." Like, just wrap it up. My bad. Okay, sorry. Like you were. No, for real.
No,
Yeah, that's I love to hear that. But next point I wanted to get up on is basically balancing. How can you balance your career and basically family life while being married?
I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I feel like that's one of those things you have to.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that's one of those things you have to really like. You got to really choose that each like, and just be really really intentional about it. Because right now, granted, I'm not married. I do have a child and a career, and I'm about to go back to school. So a few things that are going on. So just really being intentional about like setting aside time for all of the things that matter to me that I want. So I mean, same thing with a marriage. You have to prioritize each other. I think Monique said it, where you have to choose each other each day. You got to be consistent about it. So you just got to really be intentional about your time.
Facts.
Yeah. And you only get 24 hours in a day, so
Make the
you gotta
most of it.
maximize every minute. You gotta maximize every minute. When it comes to though, like careers and stuff, like I know, like the career I'm going into, CDL, truck driving, whatever. That's a job that takes me away from the home, like a lot. Um, 3 days out the week, I'd be gone, but 4 days I'll be home. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you just gotta have a partner that understands, especially when you're young. Like I feel like if I was in a relationship right now and I had a partner and they knew I was getting into something like that, it had to be something that we sit down and talk about and just understand. Like we both hustling right now. Like we both trying to get right so we can have a family, settle down. You know what I'm saying? So I think at a young age, when there's no kids involved, nothing like that, it's something that you definitely can work out and stuff like that. Like, hey, you just got to work around this, find our times, do what we got to do. But that's another thing. Like, that's another communication thing. Like, hey, I'm gonna be back home this day, this day, this day. What you want to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's see the family. But when it comes to like kids and all that, I think you gotta really gotta take in consideration what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I had kids, I wouldn't go over the road with a CDL. I would stay home and stay local so I can be home with the kids every night because they need that. They need a father figure in the household as well as a mother at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. And I think for that, like you just have to set things into place. And also I think it's very important to pick a partner where you share similar mindsets when it comes to how to raise children and how you want them to be raised and how you want the household to look. I think like sitting down and coming up with a good schedule and staying consistent with it and making sure that you both are getting what you need as well as the kids. But like when it comes to like career, like for example, I'm a teacher. I'd be tired. I'd be with kids all day. So like maybe like making a schedule, like maybe 3 days out of the week you do this, like 3 days out of the week I do this. You know what I'm saying? Just making like a schedule to where we both can get what we need and it doesn't feel like so much pressure is on just one person. It's a balance.
Right.
What was the question again? Dealing with careers and family dynamics. What was it? What was the question?
Yeah. It's basically how would you balance your career and like family life while you feel me being married and stuff?
Okay, so I definitely have a non-negotiable when it comes to like family time when it's time for me to have kids. So I know I don't want to have a husband that's on the road as far as CDL because I don't think I would do that. Or military, anything when my husband is always gone. And I also would want to compromise with our careers to where like maybe if one of us not at home in the morning, we manage the kids then, and one of us work the afternoon, something like that. But I do want a time where we all can maybe at least sit down, eat breakfast and dinner as a family. You feel me? Like to where our careers can not clash, but coordinate. I guess.
I understand.
That's real though, because I feel like honestly having a career, but it's depend like you got to do what's best for the family at the end of the day, regardless if you do got to take that time away to make that money. But it's all about taking care of your family, and as long as they know that, as long as they see you doing that, I feel like you feel me. It's still the same love. It's not maybe like in person love, but you can still they see they love you, they care about you because all this stuff they trying to provide for you, do for you, all that good stuff.
See, I have something to say as far as when it comes to that. I have a friend growing up, her dad, he was a welder, so he was always away on the road and stuff. As a kid, you don't see that your dad is out there providing for his family. You see that your dad is not here. As a kid, it's not always about what daddy bringing home, it's about daddy being home. That's what I feel like sometimes. Like, because as a kid, I know that hurt her or traumatized her in a way because she felt like she always tell me it was like I had a daddy, but I didn't have a daddy. Or it's like my mom was married with a husband, but single at the same time. Like, because her daddy was always gone. And I just wouldn't want halfway here, halfway there husband. Even if it came to him making the money, like I don't feel like that would be a fit for me. Just personally.
No, that's a great point because that leads into like other problems that happens in the marriage. Like, like you said, partners might get tired of the person being gone for so long, so they start cheating. That's where the team comes in. And then you got a whole nother problem, and then that's when come home. Now you got your son calling somebody else daddy, and that's where you feel me. It starts to get rough out here. It starts getting rough.
Yeah, nah.
And I'm gonna add to that, like some women being single moms in like a committed relationship. I've seen it happen like a lot where like the mother has to take care of every single thing, like making sure the kids go to their clubs, making sure and I hate when I see like sometimes like I see the things like that's being a good dad by like taking their kids somewhere, but like that's their job. Like they're supposed to be taking their kids to practice. They're supposed to be taking their kids to whatever they need. It shouldn't just be solely based on a mom just because like the dad is got a job and is providing as far away. Like that's hard on the mother. It's like she's basically a single woman in a whole relationship. It needs to be like an equal balance. It shouldn't just be like, oh, that's a good dad for taking his son to practice. Like, no, that's just what a dad's supposed to do. Like, it shouldn't be any extra. It shouldn't be getting an extra pat on the back. Like, it's when you agree to be a parent, you agree to be a parent. Some people, I mean, don't do that. Some people don't do a good job with that, and it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I feel like every part of you should be involved in that kid's life, no matter what you got to do about it.
Yeah. When you have a kid, you sign up for 18 years and then some. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I understand what you're saying for sure when it comes to having a kid and not being there, like how I was saying, like not being there. That's what I said. Like if it came down to it, if I got a kid, I know I could change my route. I could change my route to where I'm at the house because I don't want to be that because I didn't come from that. Like I had both parents at home. They both provided. They did what they had to do. They both were there though. Like they weren't just absent. I never had an absent father. I had none of that. And I think a lot of times what happens now is people get used to that. Like a kid will get used to not knowing that they didn't know their dad, and they may not pass it on. They may not have a kid, and they may not be there because they choose the wrong people to have. You know what I'm saying? That's why it all boils down to having the right person. You get the right person, it's all gonna be just fine for you. Because I mean, shoot, at the end of the day, some days she gonna work with you. Some days you gotta work with her. Some days y'all gotta work together. You know what I'm saying? It's all kind of stuff. But I think that's like the main thing for me. If I got a kid, I'm gonna be there for my kid. I can't break the cycle of my dad being here, his dad being there. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. So
At the end of the day, all that matters is you make sure you put your kid first. Because once you have a kid, there ain't no such thing as you for real, for real. I mean, unless you can manage to do that, but most times, like I said, you got to put your all into your kid, man.
that's real.
I agree with that. I feel like to a certain extent, I feel like I've seen so many people like lose kids and like lose themselves within their kids, and it's like, yes, that kid is your everything, but also like, please don't lose like any part of you. Like, please still have a hobby. You still like, even if it's 10 minutes, like making time for you. I feel like so many people like lose themselves in their kid, and it's like, there's this movie. It's an old movie. It's like from the 80s. It's called like The Banger Sisters, but it's about this woman and her best friend, and they party, they live their life, they travel with celebrities, rockers, and then she decided to settle down and have a kid, change her whole life around. She went to being like very basic, very stay-at-home mom. She didn't leave the house, and her best friend came to visit her, and her kids were so shocked to find out that she had a life outside of being a mom. They're like, Mom never danced. She didn't do any of that. And they're like, yes, she did. They had no idea what kind of person she was before having children because she lost herself in that. And I feel like it's just very important to like hold on to peacefully who you are.
Yeah, that's real because I feel like most times, I ain't gonna lie, I feel like some parents will try to resent their kid because they feel me, they took that away from them, or make their kid feel sad because or they like because like I said, they don't feel make them feel sad because they dedicated their whole life into them. So like you said though, you always need to have a part of yourself outside of your kids. Like find somebody, at least find like a babysitter or something. Go outside, do what you used to do, because like once you get into that mode, like that's all you need to do. You ain't gonna come out of it. And it's very hard to. But like I said, we just don't want that to resent, like leading to resent your kid because that's all you had. That's all you had to do, and you making them feel that that's all they had to do at that point when they could have done other things. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
I agree with what y'all saying too, because if I don't put me first and make sure I'm straight, I'm happy, I'm smiling for my kids, I'm gonna come off in a way that I don't want to come off without even trying. Like my energy gonna read without even trying, and I don't know, they gonna perceive me as a version of myself that I'm not. So I will always want to do stuff for myself, even when I do have kids. So
I think that the part that we're kind of like leaving out is that for a long time, like mothers were in the home. So like literally the kids were their life. And now we're getting to a space where like the last couple decades, mothers have been like working in addition to like taking care of the kids. And so Monique used the example earlier of like the dad taking the kid out and being like, oh, he's such a great dad. And it's like, no, he's just being a dad, like just regular dad. Whereas like moms don't have that. Moms are the default parent. You're expected to like do all the things. And like now we're getting to a space where like women are like, you know what? I do need to have a life outside of these kids because that's how I take care of me and make sure that they have the best life that they have. This is definitely like a new concept, and it's definitely still something that is not widely accepted because there's still so many cases of where like you see the mom is out trying to live her life just like dad. Dad's not even in the picture. You don't know dad have a kid if you don't know. And so, mom is out and now she's a bad mom because she done left the child with grandma or uncle or somebody so she could have a time or just have time away. So it's definitely something that's relatively new, but more mothers are like putting themselves first so that they can pour from a full cup versus like pouring from an empty cup.
Yeah.
I like that. That's definitely. Damn.
Nadia, could I ask you how you balance?
Having a child and trying to live my own life. Really just being intentional about my time and what I do and like seeking out things that I enjoy doing. His father and I actually have a really good relationship, so he consistently has him. So that gives me time to like actually just physically not have him, so that I can have time to myself and do what I need to do. So yeah, I just because one thing that happens when you have a child is almost automatically your life becomes about them because this is a whole new like chapter in life. Even if you have a child, having another child is a whole nother person. They may not be the same. So there's always this shift of trying to figure out what the new normal is. And then even just like physically, you're not the same anymore. You're still trying to heal. So it definitely takes time. I would say technically you're in postpartum up until like 5 years after you have a child. Like that is around the time where like life kind of truly settles. The child is kind of a little more independent. So I would say more recently, he's 6. So more recently, the last few years, I've been back to like, okay, no, what do I like to do without him? Who am I outside of being his mom? So it just definitely takes like being intentional and like making the conscious choice to do things that I enjoy that have nothing to do with him and let him go with his daddy so I can live my life.
That's real. Because if we would just take a look at your Instagram page, you look like you should be traveling everywhere, just doing everything. So like that gives another perspective on people outside looking in, be trying like, why she got a gold kid, she be traveling, she got all this money and stuff. But nah, it's just really prioritizing what you got in your life.
Yeah.
Balancing that.
Nothing wrong with taking trips. I take plenty.
You like to beat that road, bruh.
Shit, yeah. See new stuff, bro.
Oh, facts. Yeah, that's good. Anybody want to close on that before we get to this last couple of topics and stuff?
For the next one, bro.
Sersky. All right. So, hold on. Parenting styles. What would your parenting style be? We
I
gonna
feel
go
like
for
it'd be
boys and girls. You can go for your boys and your girl. Both genders.
I feel like me, it's like just similar to my teaching style since I'm like early childhood. I feel like my biggest thing about like teaching is being gentle yet firm. Because with these kids, you can say the wrong things, they're gonna start crying, but you still have to be firm in what you say. Like I feel like, for example, like if one of my kids get in trouble, it's like you have to be firm, but still like gentle about it, and like you got to be careful about their feelings. I just told one girl she got to sit down. She started crying. I said, "Oh my goodness." You know, you got to reword what you say. You got to be careful what you say. But I just think for me, like just being a gentle parent, but you got to stand firm and teach them a lesson along with it. Like, for example, if they're doing something that they're not supposed to, you explain to them bar for bar why they should not be doing what they should be doing, but you sit down and you learn from it. You know, it's not just like, don't do that, go sit down. It's like, no, this is why you shouldn't do it. This is why you shouldn't do it next time. And how can we learn from it? You know, really sitting down. So like they don't learn from the mistakes, and it's just not out of fear. I'm I'm gonna pop you, not because like now they're just scared and they don't understand what they did was wrong. You really have to sit down and have that conversation with them so they can know how to proceed moving forward. For me, I think definitely my parenting style is just going to be big on communication and big on having that safe space. So where they feel like they can come talk to me about like literally anything. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you got your feelings hurt. I don't care if you got in trouble at school. We're going to sit and talk about it, and we're going to figure out how to move forward. I think that's the biggest thing is just communication. I've always thought about that, just having that safe space. And even though they're mad at me, even though they don't like the way they got in trouble, they still feel comfortable talking to me. And it's not a household full of walking on eggshells, like being fearful that they're going to get in trouble. It's just a very, very peaceful household where we can like genuinely just learn and grow because they're little humans. They don't know nothing. They just got on earth. And I think it's just very important to teach them as much as you can.
Thanks. Me personally, honestly, it just like you said, just big on like how I'm talking to you, like, cause I don't want you to feel like I'm demoralizing you or talking down on you. I just want you to hear what I'm trying to tell you, cause that's the biggest thing. If you hearing that you feel me? If you feel that way, I'm gonna explain to you in a way that you can hear. But I'm gonna still, like she said, I'm gonna still tell you what you need to do, what you did wrong. But at the end of the day, I don't want you to be mad at me, cause you feel me? Like we still blood at the end of the day. I'm gonna still make sure you straight, but yeah, it's just about making that known because so I be seeing some kids do be walking over their parents, calling them all types of names, and I'm like, hey, you different, bro. You different, man. You are different, brother.
I feel you on that. I know. When it comes to parenting style, I don't know. It's another one of the things where it's like I gotta have a kid to understand what I will. Cause who knows like exactly how I grow, how I'll be when I have kids and not. Cause I know the way I was parented, and like I know a lot of that will get passed down and retweaked. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously some stuff that my dad or mom did may not resonate with the kid I have, because different generations, different all that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
when it comes to me, I ain't gonna lie, it's just gonna be like how she was saying, how Nick was saying, an open space where you can come talk to me. Like I want my kid to be able to talk to me about anything. Like yes, I will be a stern father anyway. It's just gonna be that. I know me. I can't sit on here sugarcoat nothing. I can't sugarcoat. I'm gonna be a stern father, but it's gonna be like in a way that like I want to make sure I'm not over too hard on kids, because you know what I mean, they kids. At the end of the day, I was a kid. That's the type of person I'm gonna have to let my kids know, like, hey, look, I was a kid just like you too. I've done the same things that you're doing. I understand where it can get you and where you sometimes can go. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to like parenting, I just can't. I don't know what to say about it yet because I'm nowhere near that stage in life yet. You know what I'm saying? But definitely want my kids to be able to just come to me by anything, though. I definitely want that. That's simple.
Honestly, I would say I don't necessarily know until I have kids what parent I want to be. I want to say the type of parent y'all saying, gentle, stern, come to me for communication. But what I've seen with kids is I have nieces and nephews. I love my nieces and nephews. But each kid is different. So I feel like the parenting style changes with each kid. Because some, even when it comes to the different sex, like some kids need a little more stern, a little more whippings, a little more. Some kids a little more hard headed. Some kids you ain't really gotta say nothing at all. They fine. So I feel like when it comes to that, it's the specific kid. Cause I ain't got kids, but I got cats, and they're both different. So and my boy he a little slower than my girl. So it's just like I don't know. But yeah.
That's real. That's different.
For me, I'm for my son that I have, I am learning to be more gentle. But I'm very like stern and firm with him because he is very much a give an inch, he'll take 3 miles. So just finding the balance between like being more gentle because ultimately he's just being a child. And just he's just being a child and just doing what children do and learning and exploring the world. And just sometimes I'm tired, I'm irritated, or whatever the case may be, and so I'm more stern than I need to be. So just finding that balance of like giving him what he needs in that moment, because even just moment to moment with him, he needs something different. So just making sure that I calibrate myself to meet him where he is in that moment, because every phase that we go through is something new. So just being flexible as well, being flexible and just meeting his.
I have a question for you as a parent. So, at what age do you feel like you will stop letting certain stuff slide and your parenting has become a little more harsh or stern? Like, does that make sense? Like, what
I mean,
age?
I don't feel like I feel like as he's getting older, I'm a little more firm on certain things. Just because now he's like intentionally and cognitively choosing to like ignore my directions. So it's like, so now you're not. Now I know you understand me, and you're choosing not to listen. So I'm definitely more firm now versus when he was little. Because at first it's like he don't know. I'm teaching him, and I wish I understood more of that when he was younger. But now that where he's older and we're just in a different space in our lives, I see like, oh, okay, like something. And my son is also autistic, but he's super smart and yeah, he's very intelligent. He just is working out his way of communicating and dealing with the world. But yeah, like now I just see like, oh, you choosing to ignore me. Like you fully understood what I said and then went and did it anyway. So I would say as he's getting older and trying me more, I'm getting more firm.
No, that's real. So that's why I want to ask y'all. Y'all whooping y'all kids?
Whooping? No.
Like how
but
we got
I will
used
pop a
to,
hand.
we used to get whooped. Not them little love taps.
That's they daddy.
No, Nicholas, that's you. Because you know how you, Nicholas. I know.
Hey, chill. It's chill. No, I know. I was a hard kid to deal with growing up, especially in middle school and high school for sure. I was just doing whatever I wanted to at that point.
Keep it real. I ain't gonna lie. At a young age, I would never do nothing like that. But especially if it's my son, I ain't gonna lie. You get to about 15, 14, you get that puberty mess, and you get to try me. I ain't gonna lie. I might put my hands on. We might have to go duke it out, but it ain't even on no hard. It's just hard love. Like that. It's just gonna. If that's what it takes. If you do something that crazy, like cause that boys, well, we gonna boys will try their fathers. It's just been known for years that boys end up trying their fathers one day, and I know one day I'm gonna have to give them that. Hey, look, I'm still your father. I'm still older than you, man. I will put you back in your place. You know what I'm saying? But I don't necessarily want to just whoop my kids. Not like it just unannounced whooping. Because that becomes hostile. Now they're like, I know I had anger issues, so I don't want my kid to get. I don't want to have none of that. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, that's the way I was raised. I did get like my dad used to do. Like if I tried him, he'd be like, "Hey, bro, get right before shit get wrong." You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to.
Oh, I like that. I'm going to edit.
I feel like as a parent,
Get right.
I'll be scared. I'll be scared with my kids. It will hurt my feelings. I'm the type of parent. I feel like I would be the type of parent that, like, when I was in elementary school, when we would get in trouble, we'll have to like sit on a wall and like pick the cherries, or like, I don't know. I would do something like that, like hold a crunch position or something. I don't know, like something like that. Like
She trying to mess with their brain.
It's like corporal punishment.
Them wall sits, man, used to hit different.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, guess what? You ain't gonna do it again because you don't want to sit on the wall
Hold
again.
hold them hands out with that book in your hand. Drop it. You
Literally.
That's crazy.
That's the type of discipline I'll give, because it'll hurt my feelings to whoop them. But you don't want to sit on that wall no more, do you?
Nah, man. Knees get to shaking. You doing this and stuff.
That is true, though. That is true.
I feel like
But
I
me, I
wouldn't
don't,
give my kids. Oh, go ahead, Nabi.
No, go ahead, Monique.
I feel like I wouldn't, because I didn't really get any spankings like either. I was fine. I don't know. I just feel like Jatavi said, I feel like it would hurt my feelings a little bit doing that. Also, I feel like there's like other ways around it. I saw like a great like conversation about how we treat kids over like how we treat adults. Like kids get treated like less than human. It's like, Nicholas, like if you made me mad, I'm obviously not gonna sit there and smack you. You know what I'm saying? It's like if an adult makes you mad, you're not gonna smack them, because adults not gonna let you smack you. You're gonna get smacked right back. But it's like a kid can't smack you back, and it's like they get treated like less than human just because they're not understanding something, or just because they're not listening. But like at the end of the day, like I've said it before, kids just got on earth. They don't know no better. They don't understand, and we got to make them understand. And yes, of course, like they might have different ways. Like there might have to be other punishments involved. But it's like I wouldn't let no adult smack me just because I didn't listen to their directions. And it's like, I don't know. So I wouldn't whoop a kid. I mean, if they're like maybe reaching for something not supposed to, maybe a little hand smack. But that's about it. I don't think I would.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it for everybody. Yeah. Went through that. All y'all parents need to be brought up on charges. I swear y'all do, because some of y'all just took it a little bit too far. If you're gonna ask me, but you know, it is what it is.
Well, I'm gonna say two things. I'm gonna say to what you just said, Nick. I think that oftentimes when parents hit, it's because ultimately what you're trying to do is change the behavior. Like that's what any like punishment or redirection, anything like that is. But when it comes to hitting is something that will like stop the behavior in that moment, but it won't actually address whatever the thing is. It won't teach the lesson, and it won't it may prevent you from doing it again, but more likely it won't prevent you from doing it again. And then all it does is kind of like tell you internally that like when you get upset, it's okay to like take that out on others. So most times what I will say is sometimes when parents are like hitting their child or whooping their child, let's say whooping their child, because that's what you said, whooping their child, it's about the feelings that they feel about whatever the child did. So like they feel disrespected, they feel angry, they are embarrassed, or whatever the case may be. And this is kind of a projection of that onto the child. So like whoopings is definitely something that we can leave with slavery. We don't need to whoop our children anymore because essentially it was like, well, I'm gonna whoop you so that they don't whoop you and kill you. But granted, I will say we are not that far removed from how they treated us then, but we are at a place where we don't have to, we have other tools. We don't have to like whoop our children. Now, what I will say is I do pop a hand and I do pop a bullet. But like using an object to hit my child is not something I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Even honestly, after I do pop him, I feel bad. And so I've been working on let me take a moment back, because if we're getting to a point where I'm upset and now I'm gonna pop your hand, okay, let me just back up for a second. Because am I frustrated? Did I have a long day? Like, am I tired? Am I hungry? Like, what? Why am I already frustrated with you about this thing? And so, so it's definitely something like I pop my son every now and then, but it's definitely something I'm like, let me pause and take a moment. Like, is this the pop worthy moment? And really, it's like, no, he tired, I'm tired. We're just going through it right now. So, it's definitely something that like we have other tools, and a lot of times parents are hitting kids because of how they actually feel, and less about like teaching the child. We say it's about teaching the child, but it's really more about like how you feel in that moment.
I agree. Thank you so much, Nani, for bringing up the slavery comment, because that was going to be my next point. Because everything leads back to racism. It really do. Everything leads back to slavery. It really does, because we were publicly embarrassed and shamed. And yes, like it would happen where like the slave master, if you didn't teach your child a lesson, they were going to, and it might be way worse punishment than you could ever imagine. And going back to like when we were talking about the dads being involved, I actually found out not too long ago that was also that was another thing that leads back to racism. Apparently the women in the household wouldn't get welfare if the father stayed in the home. So it started to happen where they would make the black man leave the home so the women and their children could get the welfare and the government assistance that they needed. And it's like everything I feel like leads back to a certain point, and it's like, are we going to break those generational curses and what has happened in the past, or are we going to keep moving forward with it and like keep building on these traumas to the next generation, no matter how big or insignificant they may be?
Yeah, that's real, man. That's I'm glad y'all brought that up, man. Son, y'all need to learn something on this pod, man. Shit. But anybody else got to add on that? When talking, so we get to the last point, so we can wrap it up. I want to keep y'all too long, because we almost finna hit an hour on this mug. I ain't gonna lie.
Before we do move on, I do want to share like the like there's 4 types of teaching, like parent styles. I know we like kind of like moved past that, but like y'all mind if I share it?
No, for sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Did you listen? Okay, well, never mind. It won't load. But here, let me just read them off. So like first one is authoritative parenting. It encourages conversation and negotiation, equal regarding for rules and relationship. And I feel like we all feel like we kind of fall into that category of just encouraging that conversation and communication. And then the next is permissive parenting, where the child takes the lead and encourage relationships over the rules. They kind of like let the child lead more in what they want to share and what they want to add. And then authoritarian is parent is firmly in control. So that's more like militant, encourage rules more than relationships. And then like neglectful parenting is parent doesn't really care. It's like more of a friendship type parent. They have like little to no involvement and they don't really care about the relationship or the rules.
Right. I ain't even know there was certain types of parenting for real. I ain't gonna lie.
I've heard that before, like parenting styles, the actual 4 of them, but I didn't even know what they were.
So that can be something. Parents can tell us how they feel in them comments, how they be feeling. They could be parenting over the last course of the years they've been letting us, coming up with us, it's good stuff like that. That's good. As a matter of fact, ask your parents what y'all think their parenting style is. See what they tell you.
Oh, my mom. So
But nah, we gonna get into this little last point before we go ahead and end it up, man. Been having great conversation, but people got to get up in the morning, got work and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and get into it. So it's a little fun topic, you could say. In a marriage, should your partner have the opposite sex friends?
Absolutely. I actually find it weird if you don't have women friends. If you can't be friends
Yeah.
with a woman, I think that you actually, I think that any man that can't be friends with a woman, you don't actually like women. Like you, and not in like a oh you gay way. I don't mean that. I mean in a like you genuinely don't like women because women are human beings. And if you can't, if you tell me that you ain't ever came across a woman that y'all had something in common with, that y'all like hung out and you didn't have to have sex with her, now I'm looking at you weird. Because why?
So glad you think like
I
that. Glad you think like that.
I definitely agree with that. Like, I don't know. I find it concerning because a lot of men treat women differently based off if they're attracted to them or not. Like, I feel like if you can't have a platonic relationship with a woman, you're kind of odd. No shade, but I really do. If you feel like you have to be with that woman, because it's unfortunate because like I've had friends in the past, like I thought they were my friends, but they were just being friends with me to hope that it led to something else. And it's like it's very concerning how a lot of these men move and how these men act. And so it's very concerning if you cannot have a female friend without hoping to get something out of it. It's predatory almost to have a friend like a friendship like that. So I think it's very important to have like a balance with your friend group, with your friendships. Just be respectful in all ways.
There's no almost. It is predatory. It is predatory because they just sit around waiting for the moment.
Crazy. A lot of men do like to play the long game. That's kind of weird, bro.
Grow up, bro.
Lock in for real.
When it comes to my significant other having friends of the same gender, I mean, I don't care. As long as, as I go back again, it goes with the person you choose. Like if you can choose, like you know your line. You know a line that you can cross with them people. If I have enough trust in you to have these people, I'm obviously you can have friends that like, and then it'd be crazy because like people go to the extent of people that you already knew, they'll tell you to cut them off. Like, no, that's like, come on, bro. Like, that's overdoing it. You could easily have same gender friends. I have no problem with it at all. It's just obviously when it comes down to it, be respectful because I do know how other dudes get. You know what I'm saying? Like other dudes will try some stuff with you, especially if they don't know me or they ain't cool with me. They'll try something. And when that moment comes, how you address it is how I can take the situation. That's it. I'm about to say that's just simple as that.
I feel like it's 100% fine to have different sex friends in a relationship, but when it comes to like me calling my homeboy, telling him everything about my relationship, that's when the boundary cross. Like, don't be calling your homegirl, telling her every little thing. Like, I don't. That's where the boundary cross. If y'all gonna be friends outside of our relationship. If that makes sense. Like, I don't know. But
I'm glad you brought that point up because oh my god, bro, people like to bring up your business and then you not even in a relationship, like, bro.
Right. Then it's a trust thing. Like I would trust my partner, but you never know what that friend be on. Like yes, your partner don't look at them that way, but he can be over here telling my man all the reasons to leave me, why he should X, Y, Z, because I don't know. So I don't mind it, but it's certain boundaries that need to be put in place in a relationship when it comes to opposite sex friends and same sex friends. Like your homeboy.
I was gonna say that part.
Yeah, like don't let I wouldn't let my homegirls get in between what we got going on. So don't let your homeboys either. So
yeah, that's what I was saying. That just plays what I was saying, like the boundary. That boundary thing, like you can't put it as simple as this. In our four walls of our home, let's just say we together, in our four walls of our home, what goes on between me and you, between me and you. It ain't got nothing to do with anybody, your friend, your neighbor, I don't care. Nobody knows about what's going on in our household. You know what I'm saying? And that because that's something we need to talk about first. If we, it's crazy if you going to tell somebody else about something we happened or argument we happened, and we ain't even sat down and talked about it yet. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely feel what you're saying for sure. Like, that boundary right there, especially with homeboys too, because like I got some stupid homeboys. They'll say some stuff like, "Hey, bro, you just need to leave her alone, bro." Like, bro, that's none of your business. That's why I would never take it to you, bro, because you don't even know what's going on
Right.
with my little situation. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's just simple. Right? That's simple.
First time you bring that, if one of my peoples bring that up, I ain't gonna trust you for it. That's breaking trust right there, bro. Because why do somebody else know what my business is? You feel me? Think they know what they talking about? Because then, imagine me personally, I ain't gonna lie, that's gonna cause me to snap, bro.
I agree with this.
I mean,
like, yes.
Sorry,
Go ahead, Nadia. Go ahead, Nadia. Go ahead, Nadia.
I was gonna say I agree with like the part about like male or female friends. Like there's a line with like when you're in a relationship with someone, you can talk to your friends, of course. You know what friends you can and can't talk to. But you know, you should just never tell everyone, you should never tell anyone all of your business in your relationship. Because one thing about it, you tell your friends or your family, you know, something about a fight or something y'all had, and then y'all work it out and y'all good, but now your family's still beefing with them. And so it's just like once you let these things out, you can't take them back. So, you know, you just gotta really make sure that you're mindful of like what things should I keep to myself and what things is it okay for me to talk to. And that looks different for everyone. But you know, you just want to be mindful that your family and friends, once you tell them certain things, they're not going to be able to ever see that person a certain way anymore. So, you know, you got to be careful about the picture you paint. But I don't want to say like don't talk to them at all, because then that's how people end up in abusive relationships and they can't get out. So just really finding that like balance in that line, because you don't want to be too far on the other end where you don't say anything and now y'all in there fighting
That is exactly what I was gonna say, because if you get isolated, that's how like a lot of abuse starts. That is how a lot of abuse starts, and you don't even recognize it until it is too late and you're right in the middle of it. Because like a lot of abusive men, a lot of men with narcissistic personality traits will try to isolate you from your friends and be like, don't share this, don't share that. And you get in a really messed up situation. And it's like, if you just have one conversation with that one good friend, they would have told you, yo, this is a red flag, something's not right. Something is off. And like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like you have to have someone you can confide in, especially when something doesn't feel right in the situation, because that's like being isolated in a situation, and it's like not sharing. I don't know. That's how a lot of women get hurt, and that's how a lot of women get in such like foul situations, because they were told to not tell, and they were told that this stays between us and this stays in our relationship, when that man is being controlling or trying to dim your light and take you away from the people that you need to trust, or like turn you away from them. And I'm not saying that was like y'all's intention. I'm not saying that at all, but that happens a lot of the time.
I hear you for sure. Like when it comes to this, like how you saying, like I don't mind. Like there's no hate to you going to your friends and asking about something. There's a line, and you gotta understand that's those kind of conversations you gotta have with your other. Like there's lines that you can't cross when it comes to telling them every single thing that's going on. Because I do feel like you can get into a very abusive relationship if you just got a person telling you, "Oh, don't go to them, don't go to them," and like how Nadia was saying about family, like you genuinely can go to this person, and what I don't like that can happen is because boys and girls do it, is you only tell the bad that happens in situations. Like if I'm coming to you, if I go to Nick and be like, "Bruh, this girl tripping, bruh. She keep tripping. Every time I come back, I say she keep tripping. He'll be like, "Bro, why are you with her?" But in reality, these has been months past. She done did a whole bunch of good things that I ain't gone to him about and said nothing about, and that's where the disconnect becomes. Because all your family see is, oh, he's just a bad person. That's a terrible person. Why are you with them? Why are you with that? Like, but that's why I'm saying, like, You gotta be if you're gonna tell the good, you're gonna tell the bad, you gotta tell the good too in those situations. That's why it's better to just be careful with what you go to your family with in general and stuff like that, especially friends too. Because you could have a great week and say one bad thing happened in an hour of that week, and they're gonna take that and just spiral it out of control.
Run with it.
You know what I'm saying? You take that and just run with it. So, but yeah, I do agree with what you said. That for sure.
That's real. That's real. That's real. That's real. That's how you do it. But we can go ahead and wrap this up. If anybody want to touch on any topics we done gone through today, go ahead and do that. Plug anything in. Go what you need to say. Go ahead and do that too.
I just want to add one thing.
Okay, go ahead.
So it's about the parenting piece we talked about. One of the things that I realized after becoming a parent and like just dealing with life and trying to raise a child and figure out how to raise a child, because don't nobody give you a handbook. They just give you a baby and tell you to leave the hospital. Is that once you have a child, it humanizes your parents. For me, it humanized my parents. We all, no matter how great your childhood was, we all have something from childhood, something from our parents, where we wish they would have did this or we wish they wouldn't have did that. But once you become a parent and you really see that, like, oh snap, my parents was really just trying to figure it out. They ain't know. Even when you have siblings, it's like you different from your siblings, so they still had to try to figure it out with you. So it really just, parents are people. Parents are. I don't remember who I heard say it. It was somebody on Instagram, but it was like, parents is niggas too. Like fathers is niggas too. Like that was the expression they used because they were talking about their father. But like, yeah, they are people too. They are just trying to figure it out, and they just got a little person that they are trying to like bring up in the world and the best they can with what they have. So that's all I want to add. You know, parents are people, and you'll figure it out when you become a parent.
I very much agree with that. I was just talking to my parents not too well, it was actually just yesterday, about like stuff with like because I'm adopted and stuff with my adoption. It's like there's no playbook on how to care for an adopted child because you didn't know what you were getting with me. You know what I'm saying? We don't know if I had any health issues, anything like that. Like there's no playbook and no exact guide on what to do, but just giving the child as much love as you can and much nurturing as you can. It's really all that matters, and just trying to give a child the best life you can and just teach them. That's all you really can do.
Yeah. I would say like last thing I'll say with that situation, like how you saying, like when it comes to parenting, see, even just not even just parenting, but like as I get older, some of those conversations I had with my father, he has passed away now, but some of the conversations I've had with my father, I think back and I'd be like, dang, I was looking at this dude. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about at that moment? But like now that I'm going through life and becoming a man and doing everything I need to do, I understood what he like. I understand where he was coming from. Like that's why I know when parenting comes, how Nadia said that I know I'm probably gonna look back at that even more and be like, yeah, he just was doing what he didn't want me to end up like how he was when he was young. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all it really is at the end of the day. They were just all trying to figure out him and my mother do the same thing. Be things my mama say now, I'd be like, you right. You right. You know, I was just being hard headed. I was a hard headed kid, bro. That's all it was. So I definitely can feel what you're saying when it comes to parenting like that. Like I resonated with it without even being a parent. So I feel that.
Yeah.
Everybody good,
man. Yeah. Last thing I want to tell to the audience, man, make sure if y'all get into a marriage or y'all have a family, make sure y'all do it right. Make sure you're not putting nobody in a losing situation. Make sure you're not wasting nobody's time. Time is valuable right now, especially with all the stuff going on in this world, bro. Time is valuable, bro.
Man, don't be that person that can't look in the mirror. Look in the mirror sometimes. Look at yourself and say, "Is it what's going on? What can I fix about myself?" You know what I'm saying? Don't try to push the blame on the other, man. It's easy. It's easy to throw the blame on somebody else, man. Sometimes you gotta take a look in that mirror and be like, "Hey, I gotta fix something too."
All right. Yeah, that's gonna do it, man. That's gonna do it, man. Episode 2 of Women's Wednesday. I appreciate y'all coming out. I appreciate y'all coming to chop it up with me and my boy. Man, if y'all want to come next week, just let me know. Just let me know. I promise you, we can do this every week. Man, I got all the topics, man. Because right now we on a hiatus for sports, so this is what we tuning into right now.
Yes, sir.
But yeah. Episode 2, that's gonna do it. And that's gonna be Signal Interrupted, man. See you. Hold on.